Now, if you're not getting out on the water, maybe you want to get inside some air conditioning, get in a theater, and Forrest Hartman, our favorite movie critic, thank you so much for coming in.
Absolutely.
He's here with us this morning to talk about the big release this week, and this has been a very anticipated release.
Absolutely, and IC Studios tracking this film, thinking it might make as much as $150 million over the weekend. I mean, we'll have to see how it plays out, but certainly people are expected to flock to the theaters for this one.
Now, we've seen live-action Disney movies before, but this one may be a little bit more adventurous.
Well, yeah, and I don't think it's necessarily fair to call this a live-action Disney film because it is computer animated. However, it's meant to be in that live-action vein, meaning that we're seeing pretty close to photorealistic animation, as viewers can see on the screen. I mean, I think it's really sort of a groundbreaking film in terms of how it looks throughout the entire feature.
Yeah, just from looking at the trailer, it's pretty amazing. And of course, you've seen the movie, and so you know what viewers can expect when they go and see it. It's also a very star-studded cast.
It is, really. We've got Donald Glover in there, we've got Beyonce, we've got James Earl Jones repeating his role as Mufasa, and we're talking about the voice cast, of course, because you don't see any human beings in this movie.
Okay, so very cool. That's very much like the original. And now we were talking a little bit before we came out here, and you'd said the Rotten Tomatoes score not too great. You think there's a reason for that?
Well, right now it's at 56%, so critics seem to be split, which I don't get the criticism because I personally loved this film. But I think what could be going on is this movie is a bit scarier than the original because we're talking about photorealistic lions. And we have things like lions fighting and lions fighting with hyenas. And I think when you look at the hand-drawn animation, it's a little easier to back away from that, particularly, say, for a 5, 6, 7-year-old. They may have a little bigger problem with this when you see two full-grown lions going at it. That part is scary.
Would you suggest then that maybe families with younger kids maybe not going to see this then for that reason?
Well, I think on the very young side, particularly if you know your children are afraid of things like that, like lions and tigers and things like that. I think it's still a family film because the story is very much the same as the original. The music is there. I think it works really well. That would just be my warning. You know, if you got a 5-year-old who freaks out a little bit when they see big animals, there's big animals on screen and they're loud.
And maybe this isn't the one for you. So what do you think? Is this worth a family spending money on this weekend?
Well, I think so. I love the film. Some critics are split, but I mean, this is a rare 10 for me because I think the visuals in this film are absolutely stunning. And if you like the Lion King music, boy, they do a great job with it.
And if you watch these segments regularly, you know Forrest will tell you like it is. So hearing a 10 out of 10 from you on this, that's very impressive. Seems like it's worth seeing. But again, remember, some parts may be a little scary for younger audience members.
Definitely. On the real young side, you know, be careful about that.
Okay. Well, just keep that in mind. Forrest, thank you so much for coming in.
Great to be here.